Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
April was Child Abuse Prevention Month, but this issue does not go away when the month is over. Rosie Ryan, President and CEO of Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina, recently stopped by our studios to talk about the work her organization does throughout the year to educate North Carolinians about child abuse prevention.
Rosie Ryan, welcome to North Carolina Now.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you are the president and CEO of Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina. Tell our viewers a little bit of history about your organization.
Well, Mitch, we've been around for over 30 years now, and we began by a group of concerned citizens, and we were volunteer driven. And our purpose was, in the initial years, to help citizens understand their responsibility to recognize and report child abuse and neglect. In fact, it's a law that when we suspect abuse and neglect, that we need to report it, that we need to be sure that that child is in a safe place. So we've come a long way. We have a nonprofit organization. We're the only statewide nonprofit dedicated to prevent child abuse and neglect. We have a very active core of volunteers, dedicated board members, a small but very, very competent and dedicated staff. And now we work with agencies, about 70 community-based agencies all across the state, to look at how we can together prevent abuse and neglect.
Of course, when you hear, about child abuse, the negativity surrounding it, you hear about it at times, but folks sometimes don't really sort of connect. What do you see as the impact of a child being abused, especially as it pertains to the child's health?
The impact of child maltreatment is huge, particularly for young children. In fact, research tells us that children's brains are permanently damaged because of abuse and neglect. In fact, the architecture of their brain is not sound. And so just like the building of a house, if that wiring isn't properly connected, then the child simply can't develop to its full potential. And so there are social, there are emotional, and there are health problems that are created by abuse and neglect. The toxic stress of abuse and neglect, we know immediately causes health problems, emotional, social problems, but then there are those long-term problems that we now know that research tells us happens to adults who have been victims of abuse and neglect.
Now, the name of your organization is Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina. Is there a way to prevent child abuse?
Absolutely. That's the good news. We know now that there are a set of proven programs, proven family strengthening programs that help parents nurture their children. If you don't know better, you can't do better. And so the great news is that all across North Carolina, there are programs like the Incredible Years, or Strengthening Families, or Nurse Family Partnership, or Circle of Parents programs that are really helping parents do their most important job, providing the social support that parents need, and helping children thrive in strong families.
You hear this being said a lot, that it takes a village. What is the community's involvement when it comes to preventing child abuse?
Well, first of all, communities need to think about their investments in children and families. We know that when children thrive, they grow up to be happy, productive, contributing citizens, and strong parents themselves. So strong communities depend on strong families. So we believe the most important investment a community can make are those programs that do support parents, and also those positive youth development programs that help children grow up to be those contributing citizens.
A twofold question for you. If you had talked earlier about it is the law
Yes,
in order for people to make sure that they recognize and report child abuse. But what are the steps involved if someone suspects child abuse, and what are the consequences if they don't report it?
It is absolutely essential, if one suspects abuse, to call law enforcement, call their local social services agency. Don't be hesitant. It's better to have an investigation, to have someone document whether abuse and neglect is actually happening in the home. And it may be that the parents can then can have the help that they need. It is the law, and the consequences are extreme. As I mentioned, children who are victims will, in all likelihood, not be able to be successful in school. They will have health, social, and emotional problems, and those same problems will continue into adulthood. So the price is huge. And Mitch, I just have to say that the annual costs, according to a study done by Prevent Child Abuse America, is $103 billion a year for child abuse and neglect. $103 billion. Can you imagine if we had a world where we invested in those kinds of things, that we knew, built strong families, and helped children be in safe, stable, nurturing environments, the costs that we would save down the road?
Now, another positive that's going on, you all have adopted a new symbol, the pinwheel. Talk about that, and what type of impact has it had?
Oh, it's had a huge impact. We are so delighted. This year actually sold out of 17,000 pinwheels, and we could have sold more. There are churches, nonprofits, agencies, schools, businesses that have planted pinwheel gardens during the month of April, which is Child Abuse Prevention Month. You know, when you just see a pinwheel, you smile and you think of happy, healthy childhoods. So now in the majority of counties across the state, we know of about 100 pinwheel gardens that have popped up where citizens have said, children are our most valuable resource, and we want all children to thrive, to be healthy, safe, stable, and strong.
So if some of our viewers would like to volunteer or find out more information about Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina, where can they call? Where can they go?
Well, we have an easy number to remember. It's 1-800-CHILDREN. And they can also go to our website, which is preventchildabusernc.org.
Rosie Allen Ryan, President and CEO of Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina, thank you so very much for stopping by and sharing your insights and continued success.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.